Hey there, everybody. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to another episode of What's Hot with Sea of Tranquility, bringing you new reviews all throughout the holiday season. Today, we're going to take a look at one that I don't have a physical copy of because it's not been released in physical format. This is a digital-only release that our good friend here at the channel, Andy Edwards, was kind enough to share with me back a few months ago. This was officially released on September 14th. Andy, I apologize for taking so long to get to this, just trying to fit everything in, right? This is Andy Edwards' brand new, mostly instrumental. There are some vocals on here. Release. It's a fusion album. The album is called Forbella. And if you saw the thumbnail of the video, that is the actual album cover, or the, even though there is no physical, that's the cover of it. This is featuring Andy Edwards himself, of course. Andy, great drummer, multi-instrumentalist who's played with Robert Plant and IQ and all sorts of other acts over the years. He's been doing some solo stuff of late. He handles drums and keyboards, some guitars, bass, all sorts of things, but he's got some help on here on some vocals. Grace Edwards. Also got Jack Jennings, plays one guitar solo on one track. You've got Fayan Zek, plays guitar solo on another track. You've got Roy Marchbank. I was going to say Marchbank. Roy Marchbank, who he's been collaborating with of late, also plays guitar on a guitar solo on another track. And like I said, Andy Edwards does everything else. Rob Growcut helps out with the mastering on here. Also related to Kelly Growcut, of course, from Electric Light Orchestra, right? So what do we have on this album? We've got basically 8 tracks of instrumental zaniness from Andy and company, and this is a zany, wacky album in spots. I will come right out and say there are parts of this album I really like. There are parts that aren't really my cup of tea, but I can appreciate the kind of eclecticness of the whole thing, and I commend Andy for just kind of doing what he wanted here, because there's some really interesting things here. I really like Hi-Fi, which is the opening track, and that basically for Fayan Zek, okay? Really good stuff on that particular one. So even though he's doing that for him, I believe Andy plays all of the crazy guitar solos on there. Andy's a very good guitar player, most known for being a drummer, but he's a very, very good guitar player too. If you follow Andy on Facebook, every now and then he drops in a little video of him noodling away on guitar, and he's very, very good. That's a really cool tune. Might be my favorite on the album. But again, it's weird, it's wacky, it's got this kind of Zappish thing going on. Andy's a Zappa fan. He's a McLaughlin and Mahavishnu fan, and all the classic fusion bands and a lot of the classic prog bands. So he's, you hear little bits of things all throughout this album that you know where his influences are coming from, which I think is pretty cool. Next up, you got Tangula Station, which is just under 10 minutes long. That's pretty good. There's lots of kind of like trancey, techno, hip-hoppy type rhythms and things happening here, and he's utilizing all sorts of different types of percussion, both electronic and acoustic percussion and drumming, which I think is interesting. And obviously he took lots of time to add lots of textures and things on this album, which again, some of it's not really my cup of tea, but I can totally appreciate wanting to just lay it all out here. AA is up next. That's also about 9 minutes. Everything on here is pretty long. The title track Forbella is really cool. Some nice melodies going on there and some just wacky playing. I really like the, Roy, Marchbank, who shows up on Sermoni, which is the next track. I mean, he's just a crazy, crazy good guitar player. Really good. And he's just doing all sorts of wild stuff on there. And if you've ever seen any videos of him, the guy's a real talent. And then you got the 3-part triptych, which part 1 is affirmation, part 2 the denial, part 3 reconciliation. And that roughly is about, 26 minutes or so. So it takes up the whole back end of the record. Again, lots of different things going on here. There's some totally trippy stuff. Like I said, all sorts of interesting uses of electronic drums and percussion and all these weird synths and noises and things. And, every now and then these crazy guitar solos come in. The middle section of the denial is like 21 minutes long. That's like the bulk of the piece. It just takes you from A to Z all over the place. Just really, or A to Z, as Andy would say. So, a really interesting album. There's some, like I said, it's very electronic in spots. There's certain, you hear little bits of classic prog like Reconciliation, hear a little Yes there, but there's, a electronica, there's ambient stuff, there's trip hop, there's some real aggressive fusion stuff on here, there's some prog on here. It's all over the place. It's almost like Andy just kind of threw all sorts of ideas into a blender and let's see what comes out, and let's kind of layer as much stuff on top of things as possible. There's some pretty cool stuff on here. Again, this won't be for everybody, but I would urge folks who are familiar with Andy and all his great accomplishments to really give this a listen, because, it's not every day you get a solo album from everybody we know, right? So I think this is well worth checking out, especially if you like, mostly instrumental fusion stuff. The vocals, like I said, there are vocals from Grace, is it? Yes, from Grace splattered about the album, which are cool, right? I don't think that was ever meant to be the focus of the album, but anyway, check it out. Interesting stuff. 3.5 out of 5 stars for me, and I'll drop the link to the Bandcamp page to go and check it out, see if it's something that's for you, and visit us on the web at www.seaoftranquility.org. We're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, all together, all the damn time. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and click on that notification bell to get alert of all of our content as it posts, and please do hit the like button before you leave. Also down below, get the links to our Ko-Fi page for channel donations, as well as our merch page and our Cameo page. Thanks in advance for all your support today and every day. For now, please go support Andy Edwards. Forbella is the name of his brand new solo album. Go give it some love, and we'll see you soon here with more stuff. Happy holidays, everybody. I am Pete Pardo. Take care. Bye-bye.